Good evening and welcome back to Be Rich. So I'm here taking Shashwat's place and I've been traveling quite a bit. So I think I'll try to do in a couple of videos to give Shashwat a break from this. And today I have something very interesting for you guys. Something that caught my eye yesterday on the Financial Express or Financial Times. Intel, which was down and out for the count, and its share price was down in the dumps when I looked at it at $26, is now trading at $35 though. And the news yesterday was very positive, something very positive for Intel in a long time. SoftBank's troubles seem to have given Intel a lifeline. And SoftBank is desperate to sell ARM, list it and hold a stake in that. And the court documents show negotiations are going on, and Intel is trying to be an anchor investor in that. And the rumors are that Intel wants to put in $10 billion, and the total cap is $70 billion. So if Intel is looking at nearly 10% stake as a anchor investor, this is very important because ARM is a chip design company taken private by SoftBank, and ARM basically does chip design and licenses it to others. And they make low power. I'm not a technical guy. We know there's slightly better knowledge than me on this. There is a power requirement in microprocessors. Intel's microprocessors and take consume a lot more power, and ARM software are very comparatively less powered, and so Intel has not been successful on mobile phones and on what you call that iPads, and Apple has designed its own processors now. So right now, Intel's main game is to remain in data servers, where it's facing a lot of competition from AMD. This is because Intel lost its way after Andy Grove. And there used to be a particular gentleman who is now the CEO called Pat Geisinger, if I got it right. Patrick Geisinger, who was forced out of Intel in Intel corporate boardroom politics. He went to VMware and made a big success of VMware. And then the board went on bended knees to bring him back. And by then he found out that they had sold the ARM license to somebody else for cash. And so Intel was really in a piece. So he really decided to go and invest in making more fabs within America and try to take maximum benefit of the CHIPS Act by building more fabs inside America. And I talked to my friends within Intel, three, four of them work in Intel, and it looked very difficult for Intel because they didn't have the technology required to compete in the microprocessors. And so they went into fab, and I thought at one point they will compete with the Taiwanese company TSMC, and it would be a hardware manufacturer. And Intel's days of breakthrough design look to be gone. But it's very early days yet. We don't know whether this would go through or not. But at least Pat's thinking is on the right lines. He knows where Intel did it in the past. And so Intel has done a couple of acquisitions before this. And this, if they get in as an anchor investor, is a major breakthrough for Intel. But we don't know for sure whether it's happening. And disclosure, in this very channel, we discuss Intel. At that time, Intel was at $26 a share, and today it is at $35 a share. And we did invest, and I hope some of you invested. It's moved up $9, but I am for the long haul, and Pat's doing a decent job of it. And if you are a follower of chips and computers, you don't want three companies to vanish. Four companies actually. One has actually vanished because of these corporate honchos. That is HP. HP is practically dead. It's one of my saddest things that HP is dead. I hope Apple survives for a long time. It looks like it will survive for a long time, but it's not innovated. The other company is, of course, Microsoft. It really democratized what you know as personal computing today. And of course, my favorite Intel, because I liked Andy Grove a lot. Only the paranoid survive. And for Andy's sake, and the way he escaped from Hungary, I hope Intel survives. It's a true monument to what a person who has escaped from Nazi persecution can do. So, that being that, this is the story of Intel, and it looks like Intel has made a comeback if this deal goes through. What do you think? And what are these processes? Can you explain?
Yeah. Basically, what this company does is it makes processors which consume extremely low levels of electric power. And the way the technology is moving and the way the world is moving towards more and more mobile computing, it seems to be the future. The days of desktop computing are far over. Even laptop computing is far behind us. We're moving faster and faster towards versatile, low powered mobile instruments. And not only am I talking about on your handheld devices like your phone, your watch. Now we saw Apple with its goggles. We're talking about in cars, in all kinds of automated vehicles. And finally, what will finally come into is augmented reality into humans. We're talking about things which we'll probably be wearing and probably being embedding into humans. And all of this is based on the thing that whatever processor which we use will consume low power, because power is the most important thing in computing and in processing. So the lower the consumption of power, the lower the requirement for power for processing, the better it is. So that being said, ARM is the company which has been doing this. They've been licensing it out. They're a very old company. They've been there since 1999, I think, if I remember right. And they've been metamorphosizing and merging, and now it's finally in SoftBank's hand. And the IPO filing is SoftBank is hoping for a valuation of 70 to 80 billion, and Intel has been offered a lead investor of 10 billion. This is what the news has leaked. The negotiations are at. If this does come through, it is a big coup for Intel. As much as Microsoft is trying to get into gaming, Intel needs to revive itself and reinvent itself. And one of the best ways to reinvent for a company of size of Intel is to swallow a competitor or invest into a competitor. That way, that innovation, instead of trying to incubate it in-house and grow it in-house, you leapfrog and you buy a company and or partner into a company which leapfrogs you and puts you in front. And Intel needs to move in front. Apple, one of the main consumers of their chips was Apple. Apple has moved away using their own internal silicon now. They're all the M-class chips, even in the latest iteration this year. Even on their Pro servers, it's all been switched over to M processors. So Intel is not present in Apple universe anymore. And the areas where Intel is available is quickly drying up. So this gives an opportunity for Intel to come hammering back inside. Yes, it is right, but it all depends on if they manage to negotiate the deal, which always can fall through. Then, of course, you have regulations and regulative authorities which have to okay and sign off on this deal. But I hope it happens because Intel does deserve a chance. The history, the rich history that is Intel, the world of computing, and all what we see in today, this is all possible thanks to Andy Grover and his company Intel. We will not be here today doing all what we're doing today, remotely recording on different devices over the something called the internet, if it wasn't for Intel and the dream of Andy Grover. This is so true what Anand said. I do hope Intel gets another shot at creating something new. And it's always important to prevent monopolies from happening in these sectors, because if you have a monopoly and a consolidation happening, then as a consumer, you lose out. You lose out in innovation, you lose out in pricing, you lose out on a lot of things. So monopoly is never encouraged. So that aspect, even if you're not a big fan of Intel, as a consumer of electronics, you should be very keen that Intel does survive and get over this and get through this. Just for the mere fact that we keep our diversity there in our chip companies and in innovation, keep our ideas innovative and keep it fresh. As we've been saying since Steve Jobs left Apple, Apple has been struggling to come out with something big, something new. And I don't really see much hope for the current thing of augmented reality which they've launched, the Apple glasses or whatever they call them. I don't see any hope in that. I think it's more like Anand did a video with me a couple of weeks back about creating a product just for catching the news. Though the product has no value, it does not really make any sense. It's just created to grab some news and to push the company's name in front. It looks like Apple is trying to do that. But that
But
being said, I
I
think this is yes, Anand.
see Apple has got a stable business in its phone, in its iPod and iPad. Somebody comes them, knocks them over, it is something. And but I said these are great companies. Another great company which is in trouble, which is surviving because of one particular division, is Sony. Of course, you know that Akio Morita was my great inspiration of what it is. And I cannot believe that Sony is struggling. I refuse to believe that Morita's company is struggling. It is beyond comprehension.
Unimaginable.
The company that gave us video, TV, Walkman, Discman is struggling. I can't believe it.
Yes, even the transistor radio.
The
They're
transistor
the one.
radio. And when we were kids in Middle East, it's a Sony.
Correct.
And Sony got so strong. They thought they had to put a cheaper brand. It's called Akido or some brand it was. I forgot the name. They put a lower brand to keep
I think it's Nakai, Hawaii or something like that. Correct.
some name. And they were in so strong. I think they lost their way when they bought Columbia Pictures.
Yeah, when they diversified into entertainment business instead of staying in electronics.
Yeah. But PlayStation gave them a big hope.
Correct.
And I'm
Absolutely.
very happy that I'll be happier if this Activation Desert doesn't go through. It will give Sony a bigger
Platform.
platform. And I want Sony to survive.
Yes, I agree on that too.
Because I don't understand, because Sony doesn't make products like iPad. Sony's phone division is dead. So it's
Yes.
either camera, Columbia, or PlayStation. That's all I can think Sony is today.
No, the big thing is most of the cameras that you use on mobile phones, including Apple, and a lot of them are all Sony. All the sensors are Sony sensors. So they are supplying to other manufacturers. They're doing more B2B than they're doing B2C now.
Yes.
The technology is the forefront of everything which you're using. Only thing it doesn't have a Sony sticker on.
Yeah, but I would like to see. It's more like Philips, and then one day it will vanish.
Yes, I do agree.
These are companies that should not vanish. And these are stories that should be told for generations. Men like Grove, Gordon Moore, Bob Nice, Akio Morita, Ibu Wadi, Morita's partner. These are people who change the world.
Very true. They're the future.
They are the future. Anyway, I enjoyed this. I thought it was a bit of good news and it will chirk up everybody. Two of my best books I've read, High Output Management and Only the Paranoid Survive, from Andy Grove. His semi-autographical book, Till the Time He Landed in America, Swimming Across the Ditch, was one of my favorites. I hope you guys get to read them. Thank you for watching Be Rich. I hope you like this presentation. Like this video, put out your comments, subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you have already done so, kindly share this video with your friends and relatives and ask them to take a look. Thank you for supporting Be Rich. It's a great privilege and honor that so many of you in thousands have subscribed to my channel and have supported me. I have written 2 books in English, The Alchemy of Money and Ordinary Stocks, Extraordinary Profits. These books are published by us and are ready. If you want to procure a copy, send us a message to the WhatsApp number given below and my team would respond to you. If you want an Amazon Kindle copy, you can click the link below. Finally, those who wish to consult with me can send a mail to berichenglish@gmail.com. Once again, I thank you for your support. If you like this video, press the subscribe button of my channel, hit the like button and turn on the bell notification.